A warm welcome to the Uxbridge History Show, and Ken Pearce is back with another story for us. This one is the Market House Clock. When you're ready, Ken.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Well, of course, the Market House stands in the centre of Uxbridge. It was built in 1789 by a committee known as the Lords in Trust, and it cost £3,000. It's a reminder of the town's history, of course, since for over 700 years, Uxbridge was a market town in the heart of a rural area. It is not a beautiful building. It was once described as the bulbous nose of Uxbridge. And in 1950s, there was a brief campaign to have it demolished. The parish church, hidden behind it, would then be visible. I would prefer to use the words plain and functional to describe the market house. It was desired to be a centre for trading, and it fulfilled that purpose. But the one feature that we all see and use is, of course, the clock on the turret. I once had the opportunity of going in and looking at the mechanism and found that there was a plaque on it bearing the words George Handy, Uxbridge, 1789. Well, now, George Handy was born in Holborn, London, in 1764 and trained there as a watch and clockmaker. By 1789, he and his wife Mary had a shop in the High Street here. But did he actually build a market house clock? The opinion of clock experts that it would have been made, but quite beyond his capabilities. He was a watch and clockmaker, but the big clock on the market house must have been actually made by a firm in London. It is possible that George Handy acted as their agent locally, and so he managed to get his name on the works. Two items made by George Handy have come to light in recent times. One is a pocket watch in a silver case that was hallmarked 1807, and that sold for £50 in 2001. But more interesting, perhaps, a 6'10" grandfather clock in a beautiful mahogany case came up for sale in 2018, and it sold for £9,850. The Market House clock was originally driven by two big stone weights that hung down outside the back of the building. And someone was detailed to go in and wind up those weights when necessary. But that came to an end in 1933 when the clock was electrified and the weights became redundant. So the cables were cut and the weights fell to the ground. And that is where they remain, in a small triangular piece of ground between the market house and the church, inaccessible. So those stone weights will probably stay there forever. George Handy died in 1825, and the business closed when his wife Mary died 5 years later.
Lovely. Well, perhaps we should have a little thing to try and get those weights removed and put them in the museum.
Well, it's unbelievable. I have seen them because right near the mechanism there is a window, and I looked out and I could see the two big stone weights trapped in that space. But there was a thought that they could be brought out and put on display, and it would be an interesting exhibit. But it's just impossible to get at them.
Ah.
So I fear they're going to have to stay there unless somebody's got a lot of money to prepare to get them out.
Yes. Okay. Well, thanks, Ken. Interesting story about the clock there. And I think it's still working. I must go and check today if it's the right time or not.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Right. Well, take care,
But
Ken, and we'll catch up with you next month for more history.
yeah, all right. Good. Thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.